Hello, sellers. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling on eBay. So, drum roll. I have the best, the best tips that are working right now to increase your eBay sales. Are you interested? Come on in. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you for those of you that join me live on my Facebook business page. I love to be selling. Thank you. Thank you. Those that catch me on YouTube, do hit subscribe. And I so appreciate you watching me on my YouTube channel, Kathy Terrell. I love to be selling. And I'm not forgetting you podcast people. Those of you that download and listen to my podcast, Kathy Terrell, I love to be selling. I appreciate it. So come on in. The summertime can be slow. Sellers do report that. However, you can keep your sales strong if you want. Now, some people in the summer, they enjoy slightly slower times because they might be using that time to really kick up sourcing for fourth quarter. And if you're not familiar with that term, that's October, November, December. Typically Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah season, which is busy for most sellers. So a lot of sellers in the summer, either with thrifting, a lot with thrifting, yard sales, estate sales, are really stocking up with an eye towards fourth quarter. So they're glad to have slightly slower sales because they're spending so much time sourcing and then listing. So you really got to look at your selling and what you want and what your goals are. But many sellers come to me, my one-on-one clients, my members and Love to Be Selling Insider and my group coaching inner circle. And they're like, Kathy, yes, I'm sourcing this summer, but I really want to keep my sales strong. I want my sales to be as strong over the summer as they are in springtime. So how can I do that? And it can be done. And if people tell you no, it's just not true. Because on eBay, there is something selling every second of every day. It's a matter of sourcing that and then attracting people to your listings. Okay. And if you don't know, on my website, so if you want to, you can hop over to I Love to Be Selling. I've got some free tips up specifically about keeping your sales strong all summer long. So if you hop over to I Love to Be Selling, look for under free tips or right on my site, depending on when you're looking, top 10 tips to ignite eBay summer sales. And it is my top 10. I'm giving you 10 tips that will really increase your sales for the summer. I'm going to talk about a few today that are not on the top 10, so you're going to get bonus. And the first thing is, and this actually came from my looking at a quote from Michael Jordan, wonderful, extraordinary basketball player, who has some really interesting and wonderful and exciting things to say about business and succeeding as a basketball player. And one of my favorite quotes of his is, my best skill, and you would think it would be about, making baskets, his endurance, his cardio strength, teamwork. What he cites as his best skill was that I was coachable. He was teachable. And he was a sponge and aggressive to learn. I love that. It's like, thank you, Michael Jordan. That he considered his best skill, to be coachable, to be a sponge. So this is a tip for my medium experience to very experienced sellers, because I know some of you have been selling for a long time like me, over 10 years, 15 years on eBay and other sites, but I'm going to talk just about eBay. So the challenge becomes, when you've been selling for a while, is to stay coachable, is to stay teachable. Yes, we've learned a lot. Yes, we know a lot. But the other thing is things change. So strategies that worked 5 years ago, 10 years ago no longer work because of changes in the eBay search algorithms. Also, things that are considered desirable to buy, changes too. So keeping that in mind, which is as much as I know, and that's whether you've been selling for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, as much as you know, and you know a lot, is things change, and to be coachable and teachable, like what Michael Jordan was sharing. So eBay coupons, this is for store sellers, and only eBay store sellers have it. There are, and if you're unaware of this, you can get an eBay store for as little as $5 a month. They've made it very, very, very affordable. So if you are familiar with the older price structure where it was more expensive, and that's been keeping you from getting an eBay store, do go take a look at it. Because with a starter store, with the yearly commitment, it's as low, if I remember correctly, $4.99, $4.95, something like that. It's like $5. And I think without the yearly commitment, it's like $8. It's very, very, very reasonable. And with a starter store, you don't get the free shipping supplies coupon, but you do get access to promotions manager, or what they call, I think they're calling it discounts now. They keep changing the name, but where you can create coupons and sale events. And I'm bringing this up because when coupons first came out, pre-COVID, it was pre-COVID when they came out, they were hot. I mean, really hot, because we had never had coupons. We'd had sale events, which back then were called Markdown Manager sale events, which everybody will remember. And then we had coupons. And they were hot. I mean, really hot. And if you're not aware of it with coupons, you can create a public coupon that sits right on the listing. And it'll say, it'll have a code. You put the code in when you're checking out, and you're going to get that percentage off or what they're offering. I was looking at some media, and it was buy 3, get 1 free. So if I got 4, I would get one of them free. So you'll see coupons all over eBay for all different kinds of items. They were hot, hot, hot. And a lot of us jumped in, because what I find is it's always good when eBay's rolling something out new to jump in and check it out. It worked really, really well. And coupons are still very highly effective, but they were really effective when they first came out. And I think it's because it was brand new, because shoppers weren't used to seeing it. They weren't used to seeing those codes. They were used to seeing sale events. And if you're running a sale as an eBay store, what it does is it creates slash pricing. So you'll see a slash through the price, 20% off, $5 off, whatever kind of sale you're running. So coupons were hot, hot, hot. And also when things are introduced, not everybody opts in right away, because there's always a little bit of a learning curve. So the great thing about opting in early is that you're using it, you're standing out, and you're in a minority, which also will help you. So coupons were hot, hot, hot. And then they sort of cooled off. So what I found was I had tried coupons. I was using coupons. I was getting great results. And then after like 6 months to a year, it was less sales with the coupons. And I was using public coupons, which showed right on the listing. And I was also using coupons to people that had shopped with me, offering them a coupon to come back and shop with me again, to become a repeat buyer. Repeat buyer worked okay. The public coupon was working really, really well. And then it really slowed down. So I was like, okay, we're not going to do public coupons for a while. And I was using sales, but not as much. Like, instead of like using sales, let's say like 100% when I was running discounts, it was like 20, 30%. The rest I was doing public coupons because they were working so well. And it's good to look at what is working. If you're doing coupons, is it working? And you can go to your dashboard and check. If you're running sales, is it working? Again, going to your dashboard and check. And if it's not, making adjustments. So coupons had stopped working. So I increased the sale events using them. And the interesting thing is, the coupon would be 15%. And I would do the sale event, and I was getting the sales with the sale event. So I was like, well, forget the coupons. I'm going to do sale events. And doing sale events for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And then stumbled across the Michael Jordan quote. I was like, So this is my big sales tip for my medium to super experienced sellers. If something stops working, yes, you're going to want to change. Okay. And if it stops working, for instance, like with a sale event, you might not get a sale. It doesn't mean all of a sudden you stop all sale events. Try it again. I actually had a client where I did this for. No results on a sale event. And we did it 2 more times, and then they got results. So sometimes it's right place, right time. So definitely don't just try something once. You want to try it multiple times and then see if you get results. Because it might be the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th time you get that wonderful sale, or multiple sales. Aren't those nice? And then you're like, okay, good. This is working. And then you do it again. So coupons really less effective. Started doing sale events, and it was for the same amount. So the coupon was 15. the sale event was 15% off. And I'm getting sales with the sale event. Well, forget the coupons. We're going to do the sale events. And I was doing that for several years. And then I was going over and looking at sales and looking at strategies. And sale events still work, but I'm noticing like a dip in them. So I'm like, let's bring back coupons. And it's that whole thing of just a new face. You know, when you go by retail, and if you don't know, I was in brick and mortar for over 15 years, also selling on QVC for 6 years, because you learn a lot about catching customers' eyes and what they react to. If you don't know on QVC, when I was there, when you're back in the green room, which is where everybody's waiting, you know, to go on to do their presentations, they had these giant monitors and computer screens, and you could see exactly what the sales were and what was happening and what the results were. So you could see what was working, what wasn't working. It was fascinating. So something stops working. A sale event percentage isn't working, and you try it a couple of times. A coupon isn't working, and you try it a couple of times. So then you switch strategies, and you find something that is working, and then that stops working, or it's less effective. Like you typically get $100 or $150 worth of sales from that strategy, and now you're only getting 25 or 30. And you try it several times. Again, remember the Michael Jordan, you're coachable, you're a sponge, you're looking to learn. I hadn't really done coupons much 5 years, 6 years, because I'd really been doing sale events, great results with that. I went back to coupons. I was still doing sale events on certain things that were still getting results. But on other things where it had dipped, I'm like, you know what, let me try a coupon on this and see what happens. Did a public coupon. I did do a rather short-term public coupon, so I didn't let the coupon run for a couple of weeks. But you would do, especially with the coupons, you do need to let it go for at least a couple of days. Like I would not do a 24-hour coupon. You know, you want to do 5 days, 6 days, because sometimes it'll take almost like half a day for it to show up on the listing. And I got sales. So it's that thing of a strategy that may have stopped working 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And the other thing my experienced sellers is look at what the category was. So if the coupon stopped working on that, maybe it'll work on another category. So stop working on women's clothing, but maybe it'll work on jewelry. Or stop working on jewelry, maybe it'll work on your media or your books or your home decor. Again, look at the category that you were running it on and what didn't work. It worked. And it's continuing to work. And I think part of it is just visual. If you have regular shoppers, they're seeing something new and different. And one thing with coupons, people know sale events too because of brick and mortar, but people really know coupons. Websites have coupons. I mean, I find just about anything you log in, you know, they're offering to give you a discount coupon on your first purchase, right? People know what a coupon is. And when they see those codes, they recognize it. They know what it is. I was just on a grocery website, and they were offering, if you spent this amount of money, if you use this code, it gave me like 25% off. I grabbed that coupon code right from my checkout. So my super, super, super tip to you is if something has stopped working, absolutely pivot and you try something new. When you try the new thing, try it more than one time. I recommend at least 3 or 4 times, okay? But keep trying it. And then after those 3 or 4 times, if it's still like this is not working, move on and try something else. If coupons stopped working for you and you've been doing other strategies, and it's been, I would say like at least 6 months to a year, try it again. Try it again. And look at the category, because you might be trying it on a new and different category. And it'll work really well on this category, but it doesn't work as well on this category. So don't wash things out. Always look at what category you were using it on. Okay, so if something stops working, move on, but then come back and revisit. For my people without eBay stores, and you're not ready for a starter store, to my new sellers, welcome to eBay. And please subscribe to my channel, wherever you're catching me, podcast, YouTube, and go through and look at the videos. And if you have questions, just pop them in the chats under the videos. And it's me answering. It's me. It's not a bot. It's me. And I will answer you. For my new sellers, if you've been getting sales at a certain level, congratulations. A seller that I saw, I love it. I always love, and for my experienced sellers, you'll know this, when you see a new seller get their first sale, you're like, yay, this is great. So congratulations. Don't Most of eBay is fixed price, which means buy it now. Over 70%. eBay, way back when it started, was all auctions, if you're not aware of this, okay? Now it's mostly fixed price. But for my new sellers, what I encourage you to do, if you've noticed a little dip in sales or your sales are really slow, try some auctions. And the reason to try some auctions, it will get traffic to your listings. So for instance, let's say you're selling 4 or 5 ladies' tops or pieces of jewelry. Do three of them or 2 of them fixed priced, buy it now, and the other 2 as auctions. Why? Kathy, why am I doing some auctions and not all fixed price? Or why not do all auctions? You can, but a good strategy is do a couple or the majority of your listings fixed price, and then some auctions to bring traffic. And what's best is that the auction is related to the fixed price. So if you have 4 ladies' tops, you have 1 auction of a ladies' top to bring traffic to the other ladies' tops. Or toys, you have 6 children's toys, you do 1 or 2 auction to bring traffic to the other toys. Because people will land, remember, you don't have a store, so you don't have store categories, you're not able to run a sale, you're not able to do coupons, okay? How do I get people to look at my items besides selling wonderful items with great titles and descriptions? And you'll get that information on my YouTubes and with my podcasts and on my website. I love to be selling, is the auctions driving traffic to your fixed price. Okay. So my experienced sellers, if something stops working, pivot. And if you've pivoted away from it for like 6 years, a year, go back and try it again. Sometimes it's like, you know what? You just needed to try something else for a while. It's like clothing. It's like, I've been wearing a lot of green. It's time to wear some more blue. Go back. Because I got to tell you, all of a sudden the coupon was working. And it had stopped working. I mean, stopped. And I hadn't really used them. Gosh, like a couple of years. Every now and then, again, the repeat buyer, when you're sending to your buyers, that definitely works, by the way. But the coupon right on the listing, really, it just wasn't working. Now it's working. So you know what? Go for it. Remember the Michael Jordan quote, I'm going to be coachable. Those of us that have been selling for a while, we are coachable. Why are we still selling? Why are we still successful? Because we are coachable. We are willing to learn, right? My new sellers, it's like everything is new. You're like, Kathy, I'm learning. It's all so new. For us folks that have been at it for a while, stay coachable, stay learning. Okay, I'll try this, and I'm going to try it a couple of times. Did it work? Did it not work? If it worked, great, more, right? We pour gasoline on that. We keep going. If it doesn't work, you try something else. And that's the tips that really work, is do it if it's working. If it's not, we don't scream and yell. We don't, just good. Stop doing it, and you find something else. And if the something else stops working, that thing that you did a year or 2 ago, don't just write it off. Okay, it stopped working a year or 2 ago. It might work now. And don't forget, on my website, I love to be selling, because it is summertime, and I'm going to date this. This is July of 2025. You're going to see the top 10 tips that will ignite your eBay summer sales. Grab it. It's free, loaded with tips, and you will enjoy it. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling on eBay. Bye-bye, everybody.